So we were relatively unknown. The first logical step to really make an impact was to shoot a music video. We just figured out our name as well, Last One Alive. The name itself lends itself to something serious, gritty. I put it to the guys and it was met with kind of like, well, you know, I don't know if we need so much of a concept. Can we just have us playing our instruments? So we needed to build some trust. There were questions that were raised. How much of us are we going to see? We're a new band. We need to get our faces out there and be a big presence in this video so that people can kind of get to know us. The story of this film sort of deals with abusive relationships. This was within our capabilities, and we had the opportunity to do something different and something with a little bit of a narrative that hopefully people could relate to. So we had the script. The next step was finding the crew. I was kind of lucky in that I already had a crack team of really awesome people to work with on music videos. From the last two that I did, I directed 2 music videos for Woodstock Mafia when they were still going, and they were really well received. So naturally, the first person I called up was my producer, Jan. Hey man, I know we haven't spoken in a while, and I know you generally get an email from me and immediately think, Rick needs something. And that's true. I need your help once again. Next up, I called up Trevor McPherson. He works for Handstitch Films. He's an old colleague of mine. Works alongside Luert van den Berg, and the two of them are just a kind of two-headed monster. They're phenomenal at bouncing ideas back and forth, and while one of them is looking through the lens, the other one will walk to the periphery and spot something that could be interesting in terms of like a storytelling perspective. What was unique about this music video for me is that this was the first time I was on both sides of the lens. I needed someone else keeping an eye on me. Karabo Lekete. From the moment we sat down, having never met each other, he showed an instant enthusiasm for the project, and he turned out to be really instrumental in giving me peace of mind, knowing that we were still getting a good product. Jan's kind of an amazing resource. He managed to lock down great things for this music video. The first was Sarah, our female lead, who you will probably have seen in 2 other music videos that have come out recently. One for Francois van Coke and the other for Crawling King Snake, if I'm not mistaken. An incredibly visceral performer. She really had to go deep in there and find some difficult emotions to portray in front of the camera. I had my friend Tom on lights. I had Natalie Kendrick doing playback and being the spiritual person who just picked me up when I needed a lift. We had Gareth Coleman, fantastic makeup artist, making Sarah up, making her look a little bit battered. The second thing that Jan managed to lock down, when I was looking for a location, he got hold of his friends, Kerry and Johannes Ackerman. They seemed really delighted to have this crew of folk just kind of take over their place for a whole evening. We needed somewhere where we could make a lot of noise and be in the middle of nowhere. I wanted to challenge myself this time around to try and work with technology that I'd never used before.
That's it.
One of those was a drone. We have a drone shot that we used in the thing. We didn't want to overuse it, but it really adds to the production value.
That's cool.
We got it.
That's so cool. God, that looks so cool. Okay, cool.
Trevor was rocking the steady cam.
Action.
We got those nice sweeping shots. I got Tom to rig up arrays of lights in the background so we could have some lens flares. I really need to be thankful for all the stuff that I didn't have to pay for. My company and my boss are really encouraging of what I do, so it's great when I have a project like this. We had some fun moments on set. One of them I remember was rehearsing the argument scene between Joel and Sarah. We had to get them, although they didn't really know each other, to have the kind of argument that a couple has after knowing each other for a very long time. You know, the argument.
Just get away from it.
Huh?
Get away from it.
Okay.
Oh, you keep coming into my face like that. Oh yeah.
Sarah, walk away.
That presented some challenges. We went through a whole bunch of different scenarios. I got them to ad-lib some of the Outbursts were kind of hilarious.
Bought me the ring that my friend gave me.
Ring!
Look at it!
Accusing each other of going out and contracting a venereal disease, teasing each other about their clothes. It got kind of ridiculous.
Every single day you're wearing that hoodie like it's a big deal or something. It's really not. Get something else.
I really don't want to say that.
But I think in the end, hopefully everyone will feel the ferocity of that fight scene. I wanted to work with the kind of dreamy feel of slow motion. In order for your music to still sync up with what you're playing, you have to play on the day at twice the normal speed of your song. When I presented the sped up song to the band, Art turned to me and just said, "F you." My arms are gonna fall off. It definitely kept us warm at 2 a.m. in the freezing field. All that breath vapor, that's real.
Pull that hood a bit more tight around him.
Okay, is it because it's closer?
Yeah, because it's too loose on his head right now. It needs to be kind of molded to the top of his
We
head.
had Earvault, a friend of ours, come and be our, I guess, stunt minion. Man, we rolled him through the dirt. We put a stinky old sack on his head. We threw him in a gaping grave. We did the same to Joel, which we all enjoyed thoroughly.
Action! That's it.
Oh, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
We threw dirt in Joel's face.
Cut. Sorry, you got him in the face.
We didn't mean to. It just kind of happened.
So everyone sort of files into position. You want to just walk up to the edge here, stop until we're all assembled.
My mum would be so proud.
We had to shoot a very somber burial scene. We had to kind of all walk up to the edge of the grave and peer in, looking sullen. And a couple of times we rolled action.
Action.
And Art just corpsed. We almost didn't recover from that. It was pretty funny. I think the concept is strong. I think the technical aspects of how it looks are right where I always envisioned them. I was very lucky to just work with some great professionals, and I really hope it gives us some traction. I hope people check it out and say, hey man, these guys aren't just picking up a handy cam and shooting whatever. They've got maybe a message that I can relate to. Maybe we can change some opinions on some social issues. Who knows? We don't know how far this is going to go.
Speed. Action. Wow.